Joaquin Phoenix is up there amongst the greatest actors on earth. An expert in his craft, he is able to perfectly portray every decibel on the emotional spectrum. He can instantaneously transform his character from the depths and depravity of depression to ecstatic delight. But how is such a personality switch possible? How can someone effectively play polarizing emotions with ease to profound proportions? Perhaps life imitates art, as the life of Joaquin Phoenix is one of comedy tragedy. He has been deeply immersed in horror and happiness, and this deep understanding of human emotion has created a masterful actor. So, just what has he been through to create such a chameleon of characterization? In 1974, he was born with the unfortunate second name Bottom. His early years were spent along with his family in the notorious cult, the Children of God. The Doomsday Cult members lived a meagre, hungry existence, often begging for food. The Phoenix family, then known as Bottom, travelled South America spreading the word of the group. They often lived in squalid conditions without indoor toilets, and their homes were often infested with rats. However, the real horrors came from the group's views on the age of consent. All members of the cult were encouraged to participate in sex between members, regardless of age or family and relationship status. As Joaquin was 4 when his family fled the cult, he perhaps escaped the predatory pressures of the cult. However, his brother River, who was forced to busk for money on the streets from an early age, was not so lucky. He claimed he was abused at the age of 4. He told Details magazine he made love for the first time at age 4. He also stated that he had blocked out the experience, which shows that this must have been a traumatic memory for him. Joaquin's mother Arlen became disillusioned with the cult after they started making female members sell their bodies to encourage membership. The family then escaped the Venezuelan compound where they were based. The family stowed themselves away on a freighter which brought them to their new home in America. This is where the family changed their name to Phoenix, to symbolise their fresh new start. However, for the new family, America did not bring the luxury they had hoped for, at least not at first. They often had no home to call their own and had to make do sleeping in a car. They eventually managed to afford a small apartment, and although children were not allowed, they managed to stay together. Arlen found herself a job with NBC, and from here the Phoenix children would rise through the ranks of film fame. River would be the standout star of the family, with his stunning looks and stirring performances in films like Stand By Me. However, the life of the rising star would be cut short in brutal fashion. The star, who was understandably troubled by his brutal childhood, began to numb the pain with substance abuse. On October 30th, 1993, the young star was to join a star-studded lineup of performers at the Viper Room nightclub in LA. He had taken a massive speedball hit which led to him overdosing on the sidewalk of the club. It was his young brother Joaquin himself that phoned the ambulance, whilst his sister tried to give River mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Station on Sunset Larrabee, please come here.
Okay, calm down a little bit, okay? What's the address where you need us?
It's Sunset and Larrabee. It's at the Viper Room.
Okay, what's the address, sir? Do you know?
What's the address of the fucking club?
Hey, sir? Sir, calm down a little bit, okay?
I'm sorry, it's my brother. Please come here.
How old is he?
He's 23.
Calm down, okay? If you can't calm down, give the phone to somebody else.
So there's no one else around.
Okay.
I'm fine. You know, I think he had Valium or something. I don't know.
Who's with him right now?
my sister, the people.
Okay, can you talk to her from where you are?
I kind of, she's trying to give him mouth to mouth.
Sir, calm down. Tell her not to give him mouth to mouth.
Don't give him mouth to mouth.
You only give him mouth to mouth if he's not breathing. What's he doing? Just seems like he's sleeping right now?
Yeah, it just looks like he's sleeping.
Okay, that's very normal, okay?
Yeah?
That's very normal. Sometimes, in fact, sometimes they do actually.
At 1:51 AM that morning, he was pronounced dead. Understandably, Joaquin, who had accrued a small yet impressive career in acting himself, was devastated. He gave up on acting for the next 2 years, and returned to glorious acclaim as an adult in the film To Die For, starring alongside Nicole Kidman. In the year 2000, he earned an Academy Award nomination for his glorious performance as Commodus in Gladiator. He also received a nomination for his role in the 2005 film Walk the Line. The film, which portrayed the life of Johnny Cash, would have some disturbing comparatives with his life. The film dealt with themes of substance addiction and the death of a brother. The parallels between his own tragedy and how Cash loses his young brother may have been too much for the method actor. After earning huge plaudits for his role, he checked himself into rehab for alcoholism. Interestingly, in 2006, Phoenix nearly lost his life after flipping his car off the road. Bizarrely, German director Werner Herzog pulled him to safety and stopped him from accidentally blowing himself up. This made him even more familiar with life and death.
A car in front of me was way too fast and went out of control. I saw it didn't look good and shot up an almost vertical embankment and came down, spinning down, somersaulting down halfway on top of another car. I was the first one on the scene, and the car had landed on its roof and was partially crushed. And I saw only one person upside down, deployed airbags. And I recognized it was, it was not so clear at the very moment, but I, in a way, recognized that it was Joaquin Phoenix. And it was clear I couldn't get him out through the window, and the moment I diverted my attention from him, he had picked up somehow a cigarette and tried to light the cigarette. And I said to him, man, relax. And he said to me very calmly, I am relaxed. And I said to him, no, you are not. Because what I noticed, and he was not really aware, that gasoline was dripping throughout the car. So I confiscated the cigarette lighter, and then I crushed the rear window and got him out. And by that time there were already other people around it.
In 2011, his strange upbringing in The Children of God made him the perfect choice as Freddie Quell in The Master. His intimate knowledge of cults and alcoholism meant he could perfectly portray the role of a PTSD struggling veteran in the grips of the beginnings of Scientology. The role in the art house film earned him yet another Academy Award nomination. He earned his 4th Golden Globes nomination for his role in the Spike Jonze film Her, and the Cannes Film Festival Award for Best Actor in You Were Never Really Here. However, it is widely viewed that his crowning glory is his latest role as the Joker in Tod Phillips' film. He took early critical acclaim at the Venice International Film Festival by winning the Golden Lion. However, outrage culture again raised its hysterical head as the far left denounced the film. They falsely claimed it would inspire incels, despite the fact that no reference against women is ever uttered in the film. Furthermore, they forgot that this is a work of art and not a manifesto. Left-leaning critics showed their bias by trashing the film despite near unanimous applause by audiences. This film, and the controversy it has stirred, is perhaps the shining example of the new political nature of film reviews. Nonetheless, Joker became the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. Phoenix's role as Arthur Fleck is an amalgamation of all the comedy tragedy to befall his life. It is a stunningly bizarre, uncomfortable and disturbing realisation of mental health, isolation and violence. Many feel that Joaquin Phoenix will finally claim the Oscar at his 4th attempt. However, there are many obstacles in his way. The Oscars increasingly reflect the far left's PC enforcement culture. With the fake controversy the film has generated, this may be a risk to left-wing Hollywood. Furthermore, this would make it the second time the role of the Joker has won an Oscar in recent memory. Can Phoenix cement his life and career legacy with this defining celebration of comedy tragedy? We will soon see.